Google has finally announced the Nexus 5. Here's a rundown of its rather impressive specs. In the display department, the Nexus 5 comes rocking a 5-inch Full HD IPS display, sporting an eye-popping 445 ppi. To put that into context, the Samsung Galaxy S4 has a 441 ppi screen, while the iPhone 5S gets just 326 ppi. There's some serious heat under the bonnet as well, with the punchy Snapdragon 800 clocked at 2.26 GHz, exactly the same as that found on the LG G2. Bundled with 2GB of RAM, and the Nexus 5 means business. The phone holds up well in the graphics department too, with an Adreno 330 GPU that should make the Nexus 5 a great gaming handset. Of course, the Nexus 5 also brings the debut of Android 4.4 KitKat, so if you want the latest version of Google's OS as soon as possible, this is the phone for you. The camera doesn't instantly impress with just 8 megapixels on the rear, although you do get optical image stabilization this time round, which should lead to some much more impressive shots than its predecessor. There's also a 1.3 megapixel sensor on the front. The Nexus 5 should be able to hold up to a fair amount of usage with a 2300 mAh battery, up from 2100 on the Nexus 4. Google reckons that's good for up to 17 hours of talk time or 7 hours of 4G surfing. In terms of design, the Nexus 5 is longer and wider than the Nexus 4 due to the larger screen, although LG has still managed to make it thinner and 9 grams lighter. Unsurprisingly, there's no micro SD slot here, but the Nexus 5 comes in a higher 32GB model this time round, in addition to 16GB. You can get your hands on a Nexus 5 now, with prices starting at £299 for the 16GB model or £339 for the 32GB version.